Hi guys, today's video is about the heartbreaking chapter 181 of the Four Nights of the Apocalypse, titled Night of Despair. So, let's get started. We begin this chapter where we left off in chapter 180, with Tristan questioning the fake Isolde. He asks, "Who am I anyway?" This fake Isolde tries to divert Tantris's attention away from these identity issues, saying things like, "Who you are? Where did that come from? You are Tantris, and you know that." Now we learn that Tantris still has a bit of memory about who he really is, about being on some great mission, but he can't remember more. He doesn't even know why he has the power of light and darkness. However, the fake Isolde keeps trying to steer his attention away from it, saying, "Well, that's just who you are. Why do you need to know why?" Tantris notices that Kion knew what happens when he activates his demon form for too long. He goes on a rampage and such. This gets on fake Isolde's nerves because she knows she has no good argument against it. Tristan keeps going, saying, "The Prince of Leonas, the Seven Deadly Sins, these things keep ringing in my mind for some reason." This makes him wonder if his name isn't actually Tantris. But that's when the imposter interrupts him, saying it doesn't matter and telling him to chill a bit. She then uses her magic to, let's say, brainwash Tristan once again, removing any resistance to discovering his true identity and making him dedicate himself to protecting her, the imposter casting this magic. Now, we're back to square one, but this obviously exhausts the fake Isolde. Before moving on, the imposter gives Tantris her father's armor, describing her father as a proud man, harsh on himself, but always kind to her. When Tantris questions if it's really fine for him to use the fake's father's armor, she says, "It's fine. He's no longer with us anyway." Next, we head to Percival's gang. Anne is talking to Percival, asking the boy not to hold a grudge against Diodora for today. Nasien is confused, asking, "Why not? He did terrible things there." Anne blushes, telling Percival, "Look, I know you got angry for my sake, and it even made me glad. But I was also in the wrong since I threw all my emotions at Ironside's son without knowing his situation. The guy probably didn't even know about the terrible things his father did outside Camelot. In fact, Ironside even seemed like a good dad to Diodora." Anne also hits the mark when guessing that something happened to Ironside, and she thinks Diodora blames Percival and the rest of the Knights of the Apocalypse. He's fighting so hard, oblivious to everything, that she even feels bad for Diodora. Now we follow Diodora, Rothus, and Turret, who still has some marks, let's say, after his fight against Gawain. Diodora tries to cheer Turret up, saying he'll fight hard for both of them tomorrow and that he's going to get some food for Turret. Rothus wants to go with Diodora to get the food. We all know he just wanted to get away from Turret, and I completely understand him, but Turret orders him to stay. Rothus can't help but ask, "Why are you being so testy?" Turret is testy because they feel like they were disgraced. Rothus explains that it's because they doubted Camelot. He questioned why Ironside went mad over those trifling Knights of the Prophecy, and why His Majesty won't fix him up. But Turret turns this into an attack on Diodora, saying, "Yes, I was stupid to think that, but you know what? The only thing Ironside forgot was his idiot son, Diodora." Rothus points out that Turret is going too far, but Turret doesn't care, and states that he wishes Diodora had fallen alone into Anafoin instead. This irritates Rothus even more, and he points out Turret's part in the fault, telling him their job is to support Diodora. They have to if he's ever going to get his father's memories back. But Turret keeps going, trying to get Rothus on his side. He says, "Think about it, Rothus. Who picked us up on the Holy War and taught us how to fight, huh? Ironside is like a father to us, a god even. That's why I've been serving him all these years. I never sought anything in return but that idiotic waste of space. Just because he's Sir Ironside's actual son, he's constantly received all of his unconditional love. And I know you've thought it too. You thought that we deserve to be his sons far more than that failure." At this point, Rothus is already being convinced, but Turret keeps going. He questions who Ironside really needs and what their true mission is there. It's not to clean up the messes that Diodora makes. Already convinced, Rothus just asks, "So what do you want me to do?" Now we cut to Diodora, who's buying Turret some food. Rothus, in actor mode, appears and asks Diodora to let him help. He helps carry the food, and they have a conversation. Diodora reveals that he knows Turret hates him to his core, but he says he can't do anything without both of them. He keeps going, saying they are like brothers to him. They've always been there for him. With his uncle dead and his father forgetting about him, they were the only ones who understood him now. Very reluctantly, Rothus apologizes to Diodora, who notices how strange it is that there isn't anybody where Rothus is leading him. But it's too late. Rothus starts to suffocate Diodora. Now, we get some very sad panels involving Diodora. Turret says he's sorry, and that he warned Rothus that Diodora would keep his guard down around him. There'll be good sons in his place. Diodora has some sad thoughts here, saying the uncle he loved so much was murdered. His father had forgotten about him. And the one friend he had wasn't his friend at all. He tries to resist, but all this sadness and loneliness he feels makes him just accept his fate. Or at least that's how I interpreted it. Usually, I'd say almost for sure that Tristan or Percival will appear and help Diodora here in the next chapter. But talking about the next chapter, its title is Cruel Death. I still think Diodora isn't the person dying, but it makes it a possibility. If you liked the video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel. It helps me a lot and motivates me to keep improving each video I post. Thank you all, and that was it for today.